Welcome to the world of financial wisdom. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki is more than just a book. It's a mindset shift. This timeless classic highlights the lessons Robert learned from two father figures: his rich dad, his best friend's father, and his poor dad, his biological father. One focused on traditional education and job security, while the other emphasized financial education and wealth-building strategies. Together, these contrasting perspectives teach us how to think about money, investments, and achieving financial freedom. Buckle up for a chapter-by-chapter breakdown that will change the way you view money forever. Chapter 1. The Rich Don't Work for Money. The first chapter of Rich Dad, Poor Dad is where Robert Kiyosaki plants the seeds of his revolutionary financial philosophy. It begins with a scene from Robert's childhood when he and his best friend, Mike, realize they want to be rich. They dream of a life beyond the paycheck-to-paycheck struggle they observe in their families and community. At this young age, they start their journey toward understanding money. Robert's biological father, his poor dad, is a highly educated man with a secure government job, yet he constantly worries about money. On the other hand, Mike's father, the rich dad, has limited formal education but is a successful entrepreneur who owns businesses and invests wisely. Eager to learn the secrets of wealth, Robert and Mike approach Rich Dad for guidance. Instead of giving them direct advice, Rich Dad offers an opportunity. He hires the boys to work at one of his small grocery stores, paying them just 10 cents an hour. Over time, the boys become frustrated with their low wages, and Robert contemplates quitting. This frustration is precisely what Rich Dad wants them to feel. One day, Robert confronts Rich Dad about the unfairness of their situation, expecting a raise. But Rich Dad turns the tables, explaining that this is the reality of life for most people. He reveals a critical truth: the poor and the middle class work for money. The rich make money work for them. This conversation becomes a turning point. Rich Dad emphasizes that most people fall into the rat race, working harder and harder to earn more money, only to spend it on liabilities like cars, gadgets, and big houses. They mistakenly think these are assets, but they often create more debt. Understanding fear and greed. Rich Dad explains that fear and greed control people. Fear drives them to work for money, while greed keeps them trapped in a cycle of wanting more. Even when people earn more, their expenses increase proportionally, leading to financial stress. The key, Rich Dad says, is to recognize these emotions and not let them dictate decisions. Instead of chasing a higher paycheck, one should focus on acquiring knowledge about money and investments. The power of financial literacy. At this stage, Robert begins to see the difference between his two dads. His poor dad values formal education and believes that good grades lead to good jobs, which provide financial security. Rich Dad, however, stresses the importance of financial education, understanding how money works, how to invest, and how to create wealth. Rich Dad introduces the concept of assets and liabilities. An asset puts money into your pocket, while a liability takes money out. He encourages Robert and Mike to build a mindset of creating assets, like real estate, businesses, and investments, instead of focusing on earning and spending wages. Breaking free from the rat race. Rich Dad challenges the boys to think differently. He points out that society conditions people to work hard, save, and rely on pensions or retirement funds. However, this approach often leaves them financially dependent. He introduces the idea of financial freedom, a state where your income from assets covers your expenses. To achieve this, one must learn to take calculated risks, think like an investor, and focus on long-term wealth-building strategies rather than short-term gains. Lessons learned. By the end of this chapter, Robert and Mike realize they've received more than a job. They've gained an invaluable lesson. 1. Don't work for money, let money work for you. 2. Invest in assets, create streams of passive income that grow over time. 3. Understand your emotions. Don't let fear and greed control your financial decisions. This mindset shift marks the beginning of their journey toward financial independence. They've started thinking differently, seeing money not as a means to buy things but as a tool to create opportunities. In the next chapter, Rich Dad dives deeper into financial principles, challenging the boys to take their education beyond the classroom and into the real world. Stay tuned. Chapter 1. The Rich Don't Work for Money. The first chapter of Rich Dad, Poor Dad is where Robert Kiyosaki plants the seeds of his revolutionary financial philosophy. It begins with a scene from Robert's childhood when he and his best friend, Mike, realize they want to be rich. They dream of a life beyond the paycheck-to-paycheck struggle they observe in their families and community. At this young age, they start their journey toward understanding money. Robert's biological father, his poor dad, is a highly educated man with a secure government job, yet he constantly worries about money. On the other hand, Mike's father, the rich dad, has limited formal education but is a successful entrepreneur who owns businesses and invests wisely. Eager to learn the secrets of wealth, Robert and Mike approach Rich Dad for guidance. Instead of giving them direct advice, Rich Dad offers an opportunity. He hires the boys to work at one of his small grocery stores, paying them just 10 cents an hour. Over time, the boys become frustrated with their low wages, and Robert contemplates quitting. This frustration is precisely what Rich Dad wants them to feel. One day, Robert confronts Rich Dad about the unfairness of their situation, expecting a raise. But Rich Dad turns the tables, explaining that this is the reality of life for most people. He reveals a critical truth. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich make money work for them. This conversation becomes a turning point. Rich Dad emphasizes that most people fall into the rat race, working harder and harder to earn more money, only to spend it on liabilities like cars, gadgets, and big houses. They mistakenly think these are assets, but they often create more debt. Understanding fear and greed. Rich Dad explains that fear and greed control people. Fear drives them to work for money, while greed keeps them trapped in a cycle of wanting more. Even when people earn more, their expenses increase proportionally, leading to financial stress. The key, Rich Dad says, is to recognize these emotions and not let them dictate decisions. Instead of chasing a higher paycheck, one should focus on acquiring knowledge about money and investments. The power of financial literacy. At this stage, Robert begins to see the difference between his two dads. His poor dad values formal education and believes that good grades lead to good jobs, which provide financial security. Rich Dad, however, stresses the importance of financial education, understanding how money works, how to invest, and how to create wealth. Rich Dad introduces the concept of assets and liabilities. An asset puts money into your pocket, while a liability takes money out. He encourages Robert and Mike to build a mindset of creating assets, like real estate, businesses, and investments, instead of focusing on earning and spending wages. Breaking free from the rat race. Rich Dad challenges the boys to think differently. He points out that society conditions people to work hard, save, and rely on pensions or retirement funds. However, this approach often leaves them financially dependent. He introduces the idea of financial freedom, a state where your income from assets covers your expenses. To achieve this, one must learn to take calculated risks, think like an investor, and focus on long-term wealth-building strategies rather than short-term gains. Lessons learned. By the end of this chapter, Robert and Mike realize they've received more than a job. They've gained an invaluable lesson. 1. Don't work for money, let money work for you. 2. Invest in assets, create streams of passive income that grow over time. 3. Understand your emotions, don't let fear and greed control your financial decisions. This mindset shift marks the beginning of their journey toward financial independence. They've started thinking differently, seeing money not as a means to buy things but as a tool to create opportunities. In the next chapter, Rich Dad dives deeper into financial principles, challenging the boys to take their education beyond the classroom and into the real world. Stay tuned. Chapter 7. Overcoming Obstacles. In Chapter 7, Robert Kiyosaki discusses the various obstacles that stand between the average person and financial success. He identifies 5 key obstacles that prevent people from becoming financially free: fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. 1. Fear. Fear is one of the biggest barriers to wealth. Many people are afraid of losing money, so they never take any risks. They stay stuck in their jobs, working for a paycheck instead of seeking opportunities to invest and grow their wealth. Kiyosaki explains that fear is not something to avoid, but something to manage. The rich learn to take calculated risks, and they don't let fear control their decisions. 2. Cynicism. The second obstacle is cynicism, or the belief that it can't be done or it's too risky. Many people think that only the lucky few can get rich, but Kiyosaki argues that this belief is a form of self-sabotage. He explains that by adopting a can-do attitude and being open to learning, anyone can overcome this obstacle and start building wealth. 3. Laziness. Laziness is another roadblock to success. Kiyosaki explains that many people are too lazy to learn about money, too comfortable in their jobs, and too afraid of failure to try something new. The rich, on the other hand, are constantly looking for ways to improve their knowledge and skills. They take proactive steps toward achieving financial freedom rather than waiting for success to come to them. 4. Bad habits. Many people develop bad financial habits, like spending money on things they don't need, accumulating debt, or living beyond their means. Kiyosaki emphasizes that wealth building starts with changing bad habits. The rich live below their means, avoid unnecessary debt, and invest in assets that grow over time. The chapter teaches readers that to become financially free, they must break free from bad habits and embrace the habits of the wealthy. 5. Arrogance. The last obstacle is arrogance, the belief that you already know everything. Kiyosaki stresses that the rich never stop learning. They seek out mentors, read books, and constantly educate themselves. People who think they already know everything are often the ones who struggle the most financially because they stop seeking new opportunities and learning from their mistakes. Kiyosaki offers practical advice for overcoming these obstacles, such as educating yourself about money, seeking mentorship, and taking action toward financial independence. He encourages readers to face their fears, challenge their beliefs, and develop new habits that will lead to financial freedom. Chapter 8. Getting Started. Chapter 8 is about taking action. After laying the groundwork in the earlier chapters, Kiyosaki now focuses on practical steps for getting started on the path to financial freedom. He emphasizes that the first step is to educate yourself, but the second step is to take action. Kiyosaki suggests that people should start by investing in small assets that generate cash flow. Whether it's real estate, stocks, or a small business, starting small allows you to learn and make mistakes without risking too much. He explains that many people fail to start because they wait for the perfect time or think they need to have all the money in the world to begin. The key is to start with what you have and learn along the way. He also talks about the importance of finding mentors, people who have already achieved financial success and can guide you along your journey. Rich Dad had always been a mentor to him, providing guidance and sharing lessons that helped him grow. Kiyosaki urges readers to seek out individuals who are where they want to be and learn from their experiences. Another important lesson in this chapter is the concept of failing forward. Kiyosaki explains that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone toward success. The rich embrace failure as part of the learning process, understanding that each mistake brings them closer to their goal of financial freedom. Lastly, Kiyosaki stresses the importance of taking responsibility for your financial situation. The moment you stop blaming others for your financial woes and start taking action is when real progress begins. This chapter is about making the decision to take control of your financial destiny and start working toward building wealth. Chapter 9. Still want more? Here are some to-dos. The final chapter of Rich Dad, Poor Dad provides a list of actionable steps for those who are serious about achieving financial independence. Kiyosaki encourages readers to take what they've learned throughout the book and start applying it to their lives. The first step is to continue your education in finance. This means reading books, attending seminars, and seeking out financial knowledge on a daily basis. Kiyosaki suggests that readers should make financial education a lifelong pursuit, as it's the key to staying ahead in a constantly changing financial landscape. The second step is to start networking with like-minded individuals. Surrounding yourself with people who have a growth mindset and who are also working toward financial independence is crucial. These individuals can offer valuable insights, opportunities, and even mentorship as you build your wealth. Kiyosaki also emphasizes the importance of setting financial goals. Having a clear vision of where you want to be financially and creating a roadmap to get there is essential. He encourages readers to break their goals down into manageable steps and take consistent action toward achieving them. Another key point in this chapter is to take calculated risks. The rich don't shy away from risks. They embrace them. However, they take risks that are well thought out and backed by financial education and experience. Kiyosaki advises readers to never take unnecessary risks but to be open to opportunities that come their way. Finally, Kiyosaki reminds readers that building wealth is a long-term process. It's not about getting rich quickly but about creating a steady stream of passive income that will grow over time. The key is to stay disciplined, keep learning, and be patient as you build your financial future. Chapter 10. The Key to Success. Making Your Money Work for You. Chapter 10 focuses on the most critical principle that underpins Robert Kiyosaki's philosophy: making money work for you. He reinforces the idea that the wealthy don't rely solely on a paycheck or salary. Instead, they focus on building assets that generate income passively. Kiyosaki explains that the poor and middle class work for money, but the rich learn how to make their money work for them. The chapter introduces the concept of passive income, which is money that comes in without requiring active work. Passive income streams can include investments in real estate, stocks, dividends, businesses, or intellectual properties. The key point is that the wealthy use their financial knowledge and resources to build a system where their assets, rather than their labor, are earning money for them. Kiyosaki stresses that, for the rich, building passive income should be a priority. To achieve this, Kiyosaki emphasizes the importance of investing in the right assets. It's not enough to save money and hope for the best. The goal is to direct funds into assets that appreciate in value over time or produce income, such as rental properties or dividend-paying stocks. Building these types of assets is how the rich continually build wealth, even when they aren't actively working. The key lesson here is that if you don't want to depend on a paycheck for the rest of your life, you need to start thinking like an investor. In the latter part of the chapter, Kiyosaki provides a breakdown of the three primary types of assets. 1. Real estate properties that generate rental income and appreciate in value. 2. Businesses, companies that provide cash flow and can operate without your day-to-day involvement. 3. Paper assets, stocks, bonds, and mutual funds that generate income through dividends or capital gains. The chapter reinforces the importance of financial education in recognizing which assets to pursue. It's not enough to just invest in anything. It's essential to understand the risk and return of each type of asset. For Kiyosaki, the key to financial success is to keep learning, take calculated risks, and strategically allocate resources into asset-building endeavors. Chapter 11. The Importance of Entrepreneurship. In this chapter, Kiyosaki discusses why entrepreneurship is so crucial to achieving financial success. He argues that in today's economy, relying solely on a job is a surefire way to remain financially stuck. The key to financial freedom lies in creating businesses or systems that can generate income, even when you're not directly working. Kiyosaki explains that entrepreneurship is more than just owning a business. It's a mindset and a set of skills that enable people to innovate, solve problems, and create wealth. He describes his own journey of starting businesses, learning from failures, and eventually building financial independence. In his eyes, entrepreneurship isn't just about making money. It's about creating value for others, solving problems, and finding opportunities where others see none. He shares some critical insights into business management, such as understanding cash flow, controlling expenses, and how to create businesses that run independently of the owner's daily involvement. One of the keys to entrepreneurship, according to Kiyosaki, is to recognize that your income is directly tied to the value your business provides to others. This principle shifts the focus from simply selling products or services to creating something that makes people's lives easier, better, or more enjoyable. Kiyosaki also discusses how the rich approach taxes, risk, and failure. Unlike the poor and middle class who fear taking risks, entrepreneurs understand that risks are part of the game. They learn from their mistakes, pivot, and continue to move forward. Kiyosaki encourages readers to think about entrepreneurship not just as owning a business but also as a way of thinking and making money through smart decisions. The takeaway from this chapter is clear. Entrepreneurs are not just business owners, they are innovators and creators. Kiyosaki urges readers to develop an entrepreneurial mindset by embracing challenges, learning from setbacks, and constantly seeking ways to create value in the world. Chapter 12, The Power of Focus. In Chapter 12, Kiyosaki discusses focus and how it is a crucial factor in achieving financial success. He explains that many people fail to achieve their goals because they get distracted by the many opportunities and shiny objects in life. The key to wealth building, Kiyosaki argues, is focusing on a few things and committing to them with discipline. He talks about how the rich focus on their goals, assets, and investments while avoiding distractions. They don't get sidetracked by short-term pleasures or quick fixes. Instead, they keep their eyes on the prize, long-term financial freedom. Kiyosaki stresses that building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. To get ahead, you must focus on accumulating assets, making smart investments, and learning continuously. In this chapter, Kiyosaki provides examples of how successful entrepreneurs and investors have achieved wealth through consistent focus. He highlights the importance of setting clear financial goals, breaking them down into actionable steps, and staying focused on them, regardless of obstacles or temptations. Focus also requires patience. The wealthy understand that wealth building doesn't happen overnight. Kiyosaki warns against chasing every new investment trend or jumping on every opportunity that comes your way. Instead, it's crucial to choose your path, invest time in learning about your chosen field, and stick with it. Whether it's real estate, stocks, or a business venture, the key to success is focus. The core lesson is that success is achieved through sustained, focused effort. Don't let distractions derail your progress. The rich don't scatter their energy on unimportant tasks. They zero in on what truly matters and pursue it with unwavering dedication. Chapter 13. Be careful who you associate with. In this chapter, Kiyosaki stresses the importance of networking and the people you surround yourself with. He explains that your associations, whether friends, family, or business partners, can either propel you toward financial success or drag you down. The rich, he points out, typically surround themselves with other financially educated people who inspire them to learn and grow. Kiyosaki discusses how he learned valuable lessons from his rich dad, a successful entrepreneur who mentored him, as opposed to his poor dad, who had a traditional, secure job but lacked the mindset to achieve financial freedom. The lesson here is that the people you associate with have a powerful influence on your financial mindset. If you hang around people who are negative, cynical, or close-minded about money, it's harder to break free from limiting beliefs about wealth. He encourages readers to seek out mentors and network with people who are already where they want to be financially. These people can teach you things that no formal education can, offering advice and strategies that will help you avoid mistakes and grow your wealth. The chapter also touches on accountability. The people you associate with can either hold you back or push you toward your goals. By surrounding yourself with people who have a growth mindset, you will naturally adopt similar habits, perspectives, and behaviors. This can be a game changer in your journey to financial success. In conclusion, Kiyosaki highlights that who you spend your time with is a reflection of your financial future. Be deliberate about the relationships you cultivate and align yourself with people who will help you grow, challenge your thinking, and support your goals. Chapter 14. The Final Word, Take Action. In the last chapter, Robert Kiyosaki wraps up his lessons by stressing the importance of taking action. He reminds readers that financial knowledge is only useful if you apply it in real life. Reading books, attending seminars, and learning from mentors won't make you wealthy unless you take the crucial step of applying what you've learned. He shares stories of people who have gained financial independence through bold action and calculated risk. The key to building wealth is to make decisions and take action, even if you're unsure. Kiyosaki argues that while the fear of failure holds many people back, the rich see failure as part of the process and move forward despite setbacks. Kiyosaki encourages readers to start taking small steps toward financial independence, whether it's learning about real estate, starting a side business, or investing in stocks. The point is to begin today, rather than waiting for the perfect time or conditions. Taking action builds momentum, and over time, the results will compound. The final message is clear. Don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Create them. Whether it's investing in your education, building a business, or creating passive income streams, the wealth you desire can only be achieved through consistent and focused action. This expansion now completes all of the chapters of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, offering a detailed and engaging script for a YouTube video. The lessons Robert Kiyosaki teaches throughout the book can transform the way one thinks about money, wealth, and financial freedom. Chapter 15. The Role of Financial Education in the Modern World. In this chapter, Kiyosaki dives deep into the crucial role that financial education plays in the modern world. He begins by addressing the massive gap in financial literacy, especially among the poor and middle class, who are often taught to focus solely on academic education and career-oriented skills, while neglecting financial knowledge. Kiyosaki emphasizes that schools and universities rarely teach students how to manage money, invest, or build wealth. The concept of financial education goes beyond simply understanding numbers and financial statements. Kiyosaki teaches that it's about understanding the mindset of wealth. This mindset is centered around taking control of your financial future, learning how money works, and using that knowledge to grow your wealth over time. The rich, according to Kiyosaki, prioritize learning about how to make money work for them, while the poor and middle class are conditioned to work for money. Kiyosaki stresses that while formal education provides a foundation of knowledge, it's self-education in financial matters that separates the wealthy from the rest. The world is constantly changing, and so are the opportunities for wealth creation. The rich know that financial markets, business trends, and even technology can change quickly. So, they commit to continuous self-improvement through books, seminars, and mentorships, always seeking to improve their knowledge and adapt to new financial environments. For Kiyosaki, financial education is not a luxury but a necessity. It empowers individuals to recognize and take advantage of opportunities, make smart investments, and avoid financial pitfalls. He encourages readers to invest in learning about assets, liabilities, taxes, and financial strategies. This knowledge is the foundation of building sustainable wealth and achieving long-term financial freedom. Chapter 16. Changing the Way You Think About Money. Kiyosaki introduces a powerful concept in this chapter. The idea that to become financially free, you must first change the way you think about money. He explains that the traditional mindset of working hard for a paycheck, saving money, and hoping to retire comfortably is outdated. In today's world, that approach is no longer sufficient to achieve financial independence. Instead, Kiyosaki advocates for a shift toward thinking like an investor and an entrepreneur. The wealthy see money as a tool to acquire assets that will generate income. They don't work to pay bills or save for retirement. They work to acquire assets that work for them. This mindset change is pivotal because it shifts the focus from a job, trading time for money, to building wealth, making money work for you. The chapter explains the difference between the financial mindset of the rich dad and the poor dad. The poor dad believes in working for money, while the rich dad believes in making money work for him. Kiyosaki emphasizes that wealth building is about thinking strategically and understanding that money can be multiplied through investments, creativity, and taking calculated risks. Kiyosaki stresses that financial intelligence is more important than hard work. This intelligence is about knowing how to manage money, make smart investments, and minimize risks. The rich constantly educate themselves to improve their financial intelligence and grow their wealth. Kiyosaki encourages readers to reprogram their way of thinking. Stop thinking about money as something you work for and start thinking of it as something you make work for you. Chapter 17, Understanding the Power of Leverage. Chapter 17 delves into the concept of leverage, a powerful tool that the rich use to amplify their wealth. Leverage allows individuals to use other people's resources, whether it's money, time, or expertise, to achieve greater financial results with less personal effort. In the world of business and investing, leverage is often what separates the wealthy from the middle class. Kiyosaki explains that leverage can take many forms. The most common form is financial leverage, where individuals borrow money to invest in assets like real estate, stocks, or businesses. By borrowing money at a low interest rate, investors can buy more assets than they could with their own funds, increasing their potential returns. This is a fundamental concept that Kiyosaki advocates for, explaining that the rich use other people's money, OPM, to grow their wealth, whereas the poor and middle class fear debt and avoid it at all costs. Another form of leverage is leverage of time. Kiyosaki highlights that time is one of the most valuable resources, and the wealthy use leverage to maximize the return on their time. Entrepreneurs, investors, and business owners don't rely solely on their own time. They leverage the time and efforts of employees, partners, and collaborators to build their businesses and wealth. This is why many wealthy individuals have multiple income streams that don't require their constant presence or direct involvement. Kiyosaki also introduces the concept of leverage in business, the ability to leverage the skills, knowledge, and resources of other people to create a business that operates efficiently without needing the owner's day-to-day involvement. Through partnerships, outsourcing, and hiring experts, the wealthy can scale their businesses exponentially. He cautions readers that while leverage is a powerful tool, it must be used wisely. Risk management is key to using leverage effectively. Kiyosaki advises that leveraging should be done carefully, with a deep understanding of the potential risks and rewards. When done right, leverage can be a game changer in wealth creation. Chapter 18, Building a Legacy. In the final chapter, Robert Kiyosaki shifts the focus to the idea of building a legacy. Wealth, he argues, is not just about accumulating money for yourself. It's about passing on the knowledge and financial resources to future generations. The wealthy think about their financial future in terms of long-term legacy building, ensuring that their children and grandchildren have the tools to continue growing the family's wealth. Kiyosaki discusses how wealthy families often teach their children financial principles from a young age. They understand that the mindset and habits passed down from one generation to the next are crucial for maintaining and growing wealth. Unlike poor or middle-class families who may teach their children how to get good grades and find a stable job, the wealthy teach their children to be entrepreneurs, investors, and wealth creators. Building a legacy also involves creating systems that continue generating income long after you're gone. Kiyosaki points to investments, businesses, and intellectual properties as assets that can continue producing income, even posthumously. This is part of creating a generational wealth strategy, a focus on building long-term, sustainable sources of income. For Kiyosaki, the goal is not just to create wealth for oneself, but to empower others to create their own wealth. He explains that when you build wealth, you are also building the capacity for future generations to have financial freedom and independence. The ultimate goal is to pass down a legacy of financial literacy, entrepreneurial spirit, and financial independence. The chapter closes with a powerful message. True wealth is about passing on the lessons of financial education to the next generation, ensuring that they are equipped to thrive financially and live a life of freedom, just as you did. Call to action. As we wrap up the rich lessons of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, remember that financial freedom is not a destination. It's a journey that begins with education, action, and a shift in mindset. Now that you've learned the fundamentals of wealth building, it's time to take the first steps toward transforming your financial future. Comment below with your thoughts on how you plan to start building your own financial freedom. Don't forget to like this video if you found these insights valuable, and share it with anyone who could benefit from a fresh perspective on money. Subscribe to stay updated with more valuable financial tips, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn and grow. Remember, the path to financial freedom is paved with knowledge, action, and determination. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep investing in your financial education. Thanks for watching. Chapter 19. The Importance of Sales and Marketing. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki highlights a fundamental skill that can help anyone, regardless of their background, become financially successful: the importance of sales and marketing. Kiyosaki emphasizes that being able to sell is one of the most powerful tools for building wealth. Whether you're running a business, selling a product, or simply managing your career, the ability to sell is indispensable. He explains that many people, especially those in the middle class, overlook the power of sales because they view it as a separate skill or something reserved for professional salespeople. However, Kiyosaki argues that sales is a critical life skill. Whether it's selling yourself in a job interview, pitching an idea, or selling a product to customers, the principles of sales are universal and can be applied in almost every situation. Similarly, marketing is a complementary skill to sales. While sales focus on the personal aspect of convincing someone to make a purchase, marketing creates the awareness and demand for that product or service. The wealthy understand the importance of both, and that's why they invest time in learning how to market themselves and their businesses effectively. Kiyosaki teaches that you are your own product. Learning how to market yourself and your skills is a vital part of growing wealth. To develop these skills, Kiyosaki encourages readers to learn from those who are skilled in marketing and sales, study successful entrepreneurs, and even take courses to improve their abilities. These skills enable individuals to sell effectively, create demand, and generate significant income. Kiyosaki's final message in this chapter is clear: if you cannot sell, you cannot succeed. Mastering sales and marketing is essential for anyone wanting to become financially independent and successful. It's not enough to have great products or ideas. The key to success lies in being able to communicate and sell them to others. Chapter 20. The Power of the Right Mindset. In Chapter 20, Kiyosaki delves deeper into the concept of mindset, which he views as one of the most powerful forces that influence financial success. He argues that the way you think about money can either limit or expand your wealth potential. In fact, your mindset shapes your approach to making money, taking risks, and even dealing with failure. Kiyosaki contrasts the mindset of the rich dad with that of the poor dad. The rich dad approaches challenges with optimism and sees problems as opportunities to learn and grow. On the other hand, the poor dad is more focused on security and avoiding risk, which often leads to stagnation. Kiyosaki stresses that having the right mindset is essential for long-term success. If you're too focused on avoiding risks or fear failure, you'll never take the necessary steps toward financial independence. The rich mindset involves embracing challenges, staying persistent, and viewing money as a tool for greater opportunities rather than something to be feared or hoarded. People with a growth mindset understand that failure is part of the process and often use it as a stepping stone to future success. They don't shy away from opportunities, even if it means taking calculated risks. Kiyosaki also talks about financial discipline, which is the ability to manage your money wisely and control your spending. The rich are disciplined in their financial decisions, understanding that every dollar can be either spent or invested to generate wealth. The poor, by contrast, often overspend and have a scarcity mindset, focusing on short-term pleasures rather than long-term financial health. The takeaway from this chapter is simple. Your mindset is a powerful tool. To achieve financial success, you need to cultivate a mindset of growth, resilience, and focus on opportunities rather than limitations. A positive mindset can make all the difference in whether you succeed or fail. Chapter 21. Starting your journey towards financial freedom. In the final chapter of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Kiyosaki closes with a call to action and offers practical steps to start your journey toward financial freedom. He acknowledges that the journey to wealth is not easy and may require hard work, sacrifice, and the willingness to face challenges along the way. However, he assures readers that the effort is worth it, and that by applying the principles he's outlined in the book, anyone can change their financial future. The first step, according to Kiyosaki, is to take responsibility for your financial situation. He encourages readers to stop blaming external circumstances, such as the economy or their job, for their financial struggles. Instead, they must take control of their finances, educate themselves, and begin making better financial decisions. The next step is to invest in financial education. Kiyosaki recommends constantly seeking out information, whether it's through books, seminars, or mentors, about how to build wealth, manage money, and make smart investments. Financial education is an ongoing process, and the more you learn, the more equipped you'll be to make informed decisions. Finally, Kiyosaki urges readers to start taking action. Whether it's purchasing your first piece of real estate, starting a side business, or investing in stocks, the important thing is to get started. Kiyosaki stresses that action is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. It's not enough to just dream about financial freedom. You need to actively work towards it. The chapter closes with a final piece of advice. Don't wait for the perfect moment to begin. There will never be a time when everything is perfectly aligned. Success comes to those who take action despite the uncertainty and risk. Kiyosaki encourages readers to start small, but to keep pushing forward, learning, and growing. Call to action, closing the video. And that's it. You've now learned the fundamental principles that will help you on your journey toward financial freedom and independence. Rich Dad, Poor Dad isn't just about the money you earn. It's about the mindset you cultivate and the decisions you make along the way. If this video inspired you to take charge of your financial future, drop a comment below and share your thoughts or what you plan to implement in your own life. Like if you found value in the lessons from Robert Kiyosaki, and share this with your friends and family to spread the wealth of knowledge. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss another opportunity to learn and grow financially. Start today, take action, and let your journey toward financial freedom begin now. Thanks for watching.